Part 5 of the Buzz Bubble with Nick Law, Chief Creative Officer of RGA. Now back to our host, Kevin Kelly, on the Buzz Bubble.
So you were on the president of the interactive jury at the Clio's. That must have been a blast.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was
that was
nice to get asked to do. And is it a kind of altruistic giving back? Is it just, hey, this would be cool to see what else it's doing, or a little bit of both?
No, I like juries.
It must be fun.
Yeah, I like juries. I'm not sure if any of us need to give back to advertising. I think advertising takes enough from all of us.
Yeah.
You know, and I also don't think that if the most talented people don't go into advertising in this generation, it's because advertising's got nothing to offer. So let's not kid ourselves. Let's just try to keep relevant and do good work. But I like juries because I meet people, and you know, and the head of the Clio's was fun, and I got to select that jury. I'm going to be the chair of the cyber jury at Cannes this year too, and that'll be great fun. So, you know, I'm also actively involved in the one club, so I get to hang out with those guys, and it's
great.
I enjoy it because, you know, it's the there are still some pretty cool people in advertising, and it's fun to let your head down every now and again. And the big thing about being on juries is you see what everyone else is doing.
Right.
And now you see what everyone else is doing extruded through the form of a case study video now. So sometimes you're not really sure what they're doing, but we're all playing the same game, you know.
Now you guys have a lot of great videos, though. I mean, now you guys.
Well, I mean,
great case study videos.
To be
I
fair,
watch and learn.
That's the only way you can present that stuff, because we have these campaigns or these platforms or a combination of both, which is so complex and matrix. You can't just send someone to URL, right? You need to actually tell them the story. Why? How is this all fitting together? So you need to do a case study video. Yeah. But then the art of making a case study video becomes very important.
Yeah. Well, it's like you guys do it as a matter of being and a matter of telling people who you are. And so many agencies just do it because they have to do it for the award shows.
Right. Yeah. Or they're really good at doing what they do, but they can't. For some reason, they don't have that particular attitude. That's where some agencies might be getting left behind now from the digital side.
That's why there's companies that just make movie trailers. They don't make
that's
movies.
Right.
They just
make
make trailers.
Right. Yeah.
What about Bob? What would you say about Bob as the guy, the visionary, the guy here that's steering the ship?
One of the things I said at the beginning was that the RGA's, the spine from '77 till now has been this dance between art and science, between technology and design. I mean, the other thing that has distinguished RGA since '77 till now is its ability to reinvent itself. Mm-hmm. So Bob has this sort of thing that every 9 years, RGA has reinvented itself. You know, from movie titles to sort of digital production, including TV, and then into. So there are all of these sort of moments that at the time I'm sure were sort of traumatic in some senses because they were radical transformations. But the ability to do that is sort of unique to Bob, I think. I can't think of any other agency that has had the sort of leadership required for that, you know. And to be honest, once again, every agency right now needs that ability, right? Sure. So again, the legacy of what Bob has created is more relevant now than ever. In some ways, the thing that prevents some of these agencies reinventing themselves is they fetishize the craft so much. Mm-hmm. So a lot of traditional agencies hate the idea that they're going to be doing things that are less like Hollywood, because in the end, they all want to be in Hollywood. Bob dealt with Hollywood at the beginning.
Sure, right.
He doesn't care about that. Bob doesn't care about how nourishing some sort of creative fantasy. You know, I think he's a combination of being very pragmatic, of caring about standards, and understanding what sort of people are going to help you do that, and also understanding when it's time to make a shift.
Sure.
And sometimes having to be pretty ruthless in doing that shift.
Next week we'll get a chance to see those agencies that just wanted a Super Bowl
spot
on their
Bowl.
roster.
Yes, Super Bowl. When people that don't like football watch football.
Well, there's football in between the commercials.
Yeah, I prefer to just watch football personally. I actually find it annoying when people hanging around. They start drinking and talking when the game's on, and they stop. It's like, oh, jeez, please.
They'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Nice put together and a nice vignette. You can watch them back to back. You can comment.
Yeah.
I think we'll jump into the Buzzround and get to know Nick a little. What's your favorite fictional or non-fictional hero?
Oh, dearie me, that is hard. You know, I really like the Miyazaki's heroes. You know, the Japanese animated director. He always has these very vulnerable but strong girls as his heroes, which I think is a wonderful achievement for an old Japanese man to figure that out. You know, and they're so complex and interesting, and you know, and they've got so much courage. And I've got kids that just love Miyazaki, so I see their delight.
How old are your kids?
Oh, I've got 4, so they start at 11, 9, 3, and almost 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations. Are you sleeping?
Yeah.
And sleeping? Yeah, that's a bonus when you have a less than 1. What would you say your principal defect is?
I have many. There's too many.
Hey, number 1.
Many. You know what it is? It's the balance between creation and organizing. It's really hard to get that. Sometimes I spend too much time being very Virgoan and trying to organize things so much that I forget about the creative piece. And then sometimes I go exactly the opposite way, where I'm just worrying about creative, and because it's not being organized, it's ineffective. That balance is really difficult for me.
Do you have a favorite compound curse word?
Compound curse word? Well, yeah, but I mean, most of them are like vernacular Australian.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know.
We can put subtitles. I'll email you later to get the.
Yeah, but you know, they're so
Come on, you're in a room
disgusting.
and it's just like, you know, do any of those ever slip out when you just like, when your creativity and your organization just isn't coming together?
That is an expression I really like, and it gets me in trouble all the time. Is I'm as dry as the nun's nasty. I think because it offends both religious people, it offends women, it offends everyone. Yeah, but it works, don't you think?
Oh, I think it's great. What profession other than advertising had you ever thought about or thought you would want to do?
Oh, when I was living in London in the late '80s, I was part of an amateur dramatics group. So I did some acting. And you know, for a moment I thought that might be something I'd pursue, but you know, I'm glad I didn't.
It's quite easy in front of the camera, so you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you have a personal motto? And feel free to reuse the.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't reduced it to a motto yet. I should though, because. But to me, as a creative person, especially, you can't be defined by other people, and what that means is that you can't take flattery or criticism too seriously. But you need to know the value of what you do deep enough not to be distracted by that stuff.
Wow, can I send that out to every creative
But that's not
industries?
a motto. I need to figure it out. No, you find that.
You put it in a 3-word tagline, get back to me.
Yeah, I need a writer. Where's my writer?
Nick Law.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you got to define yourself internally, right, to do good external work. Don't wait to tell people what you're good at.
I like that.
I'll work on that.
Well, and since we're being philosophical, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear when you show up to get in the gates?
If heaven existed, I would have a heart attack when I showed up, because I wasn't expecting this. I was happy with the life I had. I didn't really need this. You know, they'd probably give me if they, would you like a gin and tonic, sir, would be what I'd expect. Yeah.
And what's on your iPod?
You know, recently I've just been listening to podcasts. After a few drinks, I'll listen to music. But you know, when I'm alert in the morning, and I listen to podcasts. Yeah.
That's my next question. What podcast?
There's a few BBC ones, like In Our Time is a podcast from the BBC, and it's a historical thing. Witness is a good one, like eyewitness accounts of historical moments.
Okay.
On the media, you know, some NPR stuff, Fresh Air, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Going to the speed round. Very short questions to get into your brain about some of the basics. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Burger King, McDonald's.
They both made me vomit through my nose.
And that's fair too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Martinis, wine, or beer?
Wine.
Nature or nurture?
Nature, because I've had 4 kids and I've seen. Yeah.
Football or golf?
Football.
Ginger or
tackle golf.
Yeah, that would be great. I've actually been working on the
they should invent
the treatment
tackle
for
golf.
extreme golf.
Yeah.
It should be out next year.
Good.
Ginger or Marianne? No.
Marianne.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
Yeah. Nice. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Steak or tofu?
Steak.
I get a tofu here and there.
Yeah.
Tron or Casablanca?
Ah, Casablanca.
Ooh. Okay.
Absolutely. The latest Tron is dreadful.
Oh, geez, you didn't watch my last episode. I just love the shiny, flashy.
Yeah, no, it's beautifully done. But there's no story.
Well, no, there isn't. Come on, it's so deep. He's old, and his little guy he made didn't age. It's pretty deep.
What's his name? The dude.
Bridges? The dude,
Bridges,
yeah.
he phoned that one in, man. Oh, boy. He did. He
so
looked
cool.
at the script and went, all right, then, let's get started.
Book me for Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
I should
exactly,
be good.
yeah.
It was great.
I want lots of CG on the young guy. Yeah.
We went from the Duke years ago to the dude.
Right.
True Grit.
Yeah, he
different,
did.
much
That
different.
was brilliant. That was brilliant. I love that. And a
Great
great
Tron in
performance.
so he could focus on the Tron Brothers.
Exactly, and for that he deserves an Academy Award.
Geek or nerd?
Geek, I think. Yeah, geek. Yeah.
Morning bird or night owl?
I've become a morning bird, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't
after
that
4
when you were
kids,
like,
you're almost forced into it.
Yeah, right. SpongeBob or Bugs Bunny?
SpongeBob.
All right, so it's pretty much a wrap. I got a couple closing questions. We're going to be visiting Rich Silverstein next week, and sometimes we like to ask our current guest to throw a question out there for our next guest. Something I could ask Rich.
I'll ask him how the rapid growth of these agencies affect him. Same sort of thing that we're
I was going to say,
about.
something you could
I think that'd be interesting. You know, retaining a culture as you grow quickly.
Sure, right. Okay. If you had the opportunity to sit with anybody on a business, dead or alive, preferably alive, I could actually follow up in that case.
Well, it might not be someone in this business. It would be in a related business. I think Jonathan Ive, actually, from Apple. You know, the head designer there. I mean, I could have said Jobs, but I think he just needs a bit of peace and quiet now. So
yeah.
Jonathan Ive would be. I think he'd be very interesting.
Sure.
The interesting thing about him also is that he was at Apple before Jobs' return, so he actually lived through the sort of beige box Apple, and but then was empowered to do some great work with the sort of the iMacs that were all bubblegum iMacs. So I think it'd be a fascinating conversation.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. It was a real pleasure, and I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
That's it for our interview with Nick Law. Tune in next week for our interview with Rich Silverstein of Goodby, Silverstein and Partners in San Francisco.
I said, yeah, I'm not going to sit next to any geek. And the guy says, be careful what you say because you might be sitting next to him. And that was the IBM pitch, and we lost it.